This is the Multiturret VERTIGO S triple lens mount, now with autofocus.
You're watching CineD, supported by B&H and CVP.
Hi everybody, here from NAB 2024. We're here with Ian Kerr. How are you?
I'm doing good, Nino. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again. It seems like a tradition. I think it's the third time we do this. It's the third time we do this at the press center, and it's the third time we talk about the same product from you. It's a little different, and we're happy to talk about it again. So, the Multiturret. People who have not seen the other videos, will link them below, and I don't know, like this info thing that you see up there somewhere, so you can check it out. But just for people who have never heard of it, give us the rundown of what it is.
Well, it's a modernized lens turret for modern cinema cameras, so it's removable. I think it's probably the first thing. That has never happened before. It works on Sony E-mount cameras, mostly the Cine series, so FX6, FX9, Venice, Burano, FS7 Mark II. Works with EF mount lenses on it. So one way to think of it is a lens adapter, where it allows you to switch between lenses much as you would have on, say, an Arri 2C or a Bolex. And in this case, what we're excited about right now is this new kind of like our sort of top version, which is a VERTIGO S, which allows for autofocus when you're using Sigma Art lenses. And that's super exciting because shooting documentaries, there's oftentimes I want to work with primes because either it's low light situation or I want to soften backgrounds, sort of a cinematic look. But too often I got caught up in situations where I was switching lenses or switching bodies with different lenses, and I couldn't keep up with the scene. And in the documentaries, you can't stop the scene. Like, that's the whole point of being a good documentary cinematographer, is you got to work around it. So that's what led to the development of this, and we're finally at a point now where we got full electronic control. We're going to be shipping these in August. And if you like Sigma Art lenses, you can get autofocus. So pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean, for people who don't know, that's also one of my standard setups when I'm shooting. I also shoot a lot of documentaries, the FX9 or FX6, with the Sigma adapter and then the EF version of their art lenses, because I bought the EF series because you can adapt them to any of the short flange mounts, so you're not stuck with just the Sony cameras. And their adapter actually enables you to have proper autofocus, just like your multi-turret does.
Right, and that's exactly the kind of feedback we were getting from a lot of other documentary cinematographers. And when you start talking about the issues that we run into, that was the logical conclusion is that you want to invest in a lens set that you can use on different systems, and that's why I was interested in EFs as well. And so it was just a matter of trying to find a way to get that functionality within 22 millimeters of milled aluminum that we could keep as a really sort of weather sealed, solid, tight piece of kit, put on and off fast. And it's taken years, as you pointed out. We're finally here, and it's nice to be able to share it.
It's a labor of love of somebody who's working in the field, which is always amazing. So maybe you can just show how it works and also what has changed from the first version.
Yeah, so from the outside, it looks quite similar. It's a metal disc. The big changes, I think, here are we have a power switch on the back that allows you to engage or disengage the system.
Where does it get power from?
It pulls it from the body.
Through the lens mount.
Through the lens mount, correct. Yeah. So there's no extra cables. You just slap it on like a lens. It goes FX6. You have to remove the handle to put it on and off. Mm-hmm. The FX9, it goes on and off like a lens. So I'd have it off in probably 4 seconds. You just click, boom. So from the outside, it doesn't look too different from the M version, which we shipped last year. And had great response. So those are on 4 continents now. We've got them all over the world, and people are really excited about working with them. Lionel Messi apparently was shot with one just a few days ago. Yeah, I heard news, so that was pretty exciting. Like, wow, it's just neat to see your baby.
Did you get some behind the scenes photos?
No, these are just like little pieces of information that are kind of sneaking in. But I hope something exists.
I'm sure he asked, "What the hell is this camera that's filming me? There's 3 lenses looking at me."
It's funny. I did a shoot with Seth Rogen recently. He was in the show as well as our executive producer, and that was his first question: is which lens do I look at? Like, sorry, the top one, sir. Yeah. So yeah, it's been, the manual version's been successful, and so we were encouraged to keep going, and now finally get to this version, which is sort of the version I kind of wanted. Like when we first met, it's nice to finally have it all done.
But the whole logic, I mean, I remember the first or second one we talked about, you still had the metabones somewhere attached.
Yeah. So what we had before was basically allowed you to use your existing, back I think when we first brought this out, a lot of us were using E to EF adapters. That's just what was working. And AF wasn't really on the horizon quite yet. Like in 2019, it still wasn't as sort of, I wasn't leaning on AF as much, certainly. And so what we thought is, let's make it easy for people who already own these EF adapters. They don't need to buy that from us. We don't need to integrate it. They can just click that in. Here, it's all sealed up. There's on the side here, just this tiny little bump that covers all the boards that we put in. So
It's just on the S version or the others too now?
the S version and the E version. The E version doesn't do autofocus, but it's still electronic controlled. So you can control is like, I don't know, according to Wikipedia, is like 100 million EF mount lenses out there. Electronic, yeah, they're
Individual ones, but not modules.
no.
Like
So there's just a massive number of lenses out there that were electronic and controlled. Now the Sigma can, now the Vertigo can control all those lenses, and that's a big deal because before we were largely limited to manual focus lenses. And there's some great sets out there, especially like the new anamorphics, the Blazars, and that's really cool. And I've been shooting with those lately. But to get access to the electronic control is something that was really critical, and then to keep those boards inside the turret was a challenge. There's not very much real estate. There's a lot of stuff packed in, and so that's again, that took us a while to get there and remove that adapter, because as much as I like that idea of the adapter, when I talked to Paco, my designer, he's like, no man, that's not cool.
it's certainly more convenient to have it all built in, right?
Yeah, and it just storability, because you just take it off, you throw it down. Before we had to have the adapter off to the side, so it turned into this kind of more messy process. And it was always the question people had, well, what are the cables coming out of it? And you're like, oh, that's so you don't have to buy another adapter, and like just put it inside. So okay,
Very cool. Pricing availability, are you planning to do another Kickstarter with this?
Yeah, so it's funny. We looked at Kickstarter approaches, and when we did, we basically sent out a big mass email asking everybody, like, what are the different approaches? And everybody's like, just sell the damn thing already. Yeah. So we're like, okay, so that's what we're doing now. And we're taking pre-orders, and there's a discount at the end of this week. And it's $29.90 with the discounted price for the Sigma version, and $27.20 for the E-mount version. And the price jumps up 30% after this. So, and they'll be shipping in August. We also are selling an upgraded manual version of this, which can be later upgraded to either the S or the E, and that's considerably less expensive, and that'll be shipping sooner in July.
Awesome. Thank you, Ian. I think that's it, right? Anything else to add?
No, just thanks again for all your support and
Of
excitement.
course, I really look forward, and I tell you this every year, to test it myself.
We have more than one now.
I'm shooting with Sony cameras. It's like, oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, and I want to get one in your hands. But just when you only have one prototype, you're like, I can't let this go.
I just want to see the face of my director when I turn up with this, like, what?
No, I mean, the one thing, even on the show here, it's just nice to see people's reactions, because there's a little bit of bewilderment, and then 9 times out of 10, almost 10 times out of 10, people smile. They're just like, oh, it's just, I don't know, it's cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations on really sticking this through and having, we always say, Johnny and I always say we are marathon runners with CineD. You're definitely a marathon runner with this project as well.
Man, when I see what you guys do, the amount of work that people, you don't see what these guys, there's the amount of work these guys are doing.
It's fun, it's fun hanging. It's like fun. We're just gear freaks, right? Just like you.
So. True. Yeah. No, indeed.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the show. And thanks everybody for watching. Stay tuned to CineD for a lot more from NAB 2024. Please hit the like button on this video. Leave a comment, just ask him weird questions or us. And also don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.